Hello and welcome to the week 1 recap of the ZainoTV Balatro challenge. And for those unfamiliar, I've been doing a lot of world record runs on stream, and I want to put out a challenge to the community using a couple of unique rules. No plasma deck, no per KO joker, and seeing how high of scores could people get. And there's tons of records, there's tons of categories. We now have every single category filled up 1 week into this month-long challenge. We've had over 185 submissions. So thank you to everyone for making this already a resounding, successful venture. And it's been really fun. And what I want to do each week is kind of recap what happened in the past week. What were the insane runs? I have a few of them queued up on my tabs here in Google Chrome to go over. And without further ado, I say let's jump into it. So the first run I'm going to go over, Bach, who submitted plenty of records. He's gone passed up on a couple, but very impressive nonetheless on a bunch of these. And he recently got into the 60s for Constellation. To the point where Constellation was breaking for him because of the decimal rounding error. But you're just going to see here, I'm just going to show one shot from his run, and you get to see how nutty this run was. So obviously the mime worked very well with the blue seals and the planet cards, and there's 4, 5, I assume both planet vouchers at this point. It was just going crazy. And yeah, so this is one of those records that's like, it's gonna take a lot of time to beat. I know plenty of them at this point are gonna take plenty of time to beat because you guys have been killing it. No invis joker for Bach, but yeah, crazy setup on the black deck. I know Bach, me and him were talking in Discord, he's using black deck for a lot of these because he likes having the extra joker slot, which is, you know,
good evening.
What's up, Meebzor? Which is very beneficial in a lot of ways, and it's pushed me to start using black deck a little bit more. All right, let's move over to the next one. Future Zaino here. We had a little bit of trouble recording some of the YouTube videos, so I'm here to break those down. First, we got Gars' least money attempt. So he was able to get up to negative $94, and the way Gars was able to do this was having 2 bank cards, credit cards, which they actually do stack. I didn't know this. Learn new stuff every single day. And then lucky enough to get the tooth, mixing that with burglar, and you can guess how this went. You play 5 cards, basically every single hand. You get 12 hands, and they were able to get a ridiculous negative $94. So this was, you know, a lot of these world records are a little luck based, but I thought this was really ingenious. I had not thought about using burglar on the tooth to help you get this record. And like I said, you have to get burglar. You got 2 credit cards. Like, they got 2 credit cards. It's not easy. It's going to take some rerolls, but what an absolute fantastic record by Gars. Next, we move over to one of my favorite runs by Threaded. It was the fewest cards played of 12. And the crazy part is that in this, they had to deal with Psychic in the first. So if you take away those 5 cards and somehow they're able to play 2, 1, or even 3, they could have got down all the way to 10 cards played, but they had to play the 5 here. But as they mentioned in the Discord, better now than later. And I think you guys can all assume what came later in the run to help them play the fewest cards. And that was a stuntman that also happened to be holographic, so that also helped with the +10 mult. They're able to play high card basically throughout, skip to every single boss blind. And yeah, going to the end here, the final build for the victory ended up being, they had a vampire for a little bit, had to delete for Verdant Leaf, but hologram, blackboard, raised fist, and stuntman was enough, I believe, to one-shot the boss here. We'll go ahead and watch. I can't remember if they needed 2 ants. Nope, 1 got 105. Fantastic run by Threaded. And then finally, we have Stupid here, who has done multiple world records, but one of my favorites was actually this one. Hit the road jack at 13.5x, which I don't know if that is the highest right now. I'm going to double check on the sheet. Highest hit the road. Yep, this is the highest hit the road, and the flash card at absolute ridiculous 696, which they later passed and got an even higher flash card, I believe, at 902. But incredible to have this many jacks. And Stupid is one of the greats in our Discord at just collecting money. Fantastic job at building the economy, and when you have an economy, you're able to accomplish a lot of these records by being able to shape your deck how you want. But flashcard, for example, you just need money for rerolls, and they were able to achieve that. One of my favorite ones to watch as we went all the way through, and now we're going to head it back to past tense Zaino as he finishes off the recap. The next one is, I believe, by Monty. So Monty wanted to keep this one a secret, but he was able to get 18 re-triggers on a card. And people are kind of wondering, how in the world was he able to get 8 of the same Joker and that many triggers? The key here was ectoplasm. As you can see, he only has 2 hand size. And he's going to be able to trigger this one queen 18 times. It's so funny that these two ended up working together. Like, he was able to get both of these records in one. It makes sense. I'm not trying to out his plan, but like, oh my gosh. Again. And then finally here, we have what is currently the highest score. So let's go over it really quick. What is key here is kind of what I was just saying. Anaglyph deck, lots of double tags, and he was able to get the juggle tag. He was also able to re-roll for Verdant Leaf. And shout out to, sorry, Phantom. This is your run. I couldn't remember. And let's watch this hand size. 28, 31, 34, 37, 43, 46, 49, 52, 55, 58, 61, 64. Ran out of cards of the deck. Wasn't even able really to take... You know, you didn't even need the Serpent. Like, I was thinking, oh, it would be so sick if you were able to do this and reroll for the Serpent. Didn't even need it. And, yeah. So, his game glitched out, but eventually he was able to play his King of Hearts using Mime, Baron, and, we'll skip through this a little bit. This is just a lot of triggering. And was able to get a E187 score on Anaglyph. For those who don't know, Plasma basically squares your score. So if this was on Plasma, this would be, what is that? 300 and... No, 700? No, what am I saying? 700? 360? 374? Basically, it would be Nan-Inf. So, this is going to be hard to beat. This is really the only way to get that 374. Thank you, Pat. The only way to get this high of a score is you're going to need to play Anaglyph. You're going to have to get those double tags, and you're going to have to get either more double tags or you're going to have to somehow get the Serpent with more cards. But you can't get that much double tags on Plasma without Perkeo, so yeah, that's a good point, Stupid. All right, and that's going to wrap it up, but first, we're not wrapping it up yet. We're wrapping it up here. Let's check on the leaderboards. So, let's zoom in a little bit. Phantom currently in first place with 16 points. Monty in second place with 12. Bach has 6. Gars has 8. Song 6. Stupid 6. Threaded with 5. Fudge with 3. Myself with 3. Delicious Grapes and has 3. That rounds out the top 10. Starting at 11, Pat, Harris both have a couple points. Grassy has 1. Cheese, Crowan, Delma, Martin, and Suspect Device. Now, I know even more of you have submitted them. I'm hoping that you're able to get a few more of these world records, get onto the scoreboard. I'm excited to talk about this more next week on the recap, and we'll catch you then. See you later.